OG Crunkster.
And today is episode 60 of the OG podcast. Can you believe we're on episode 60? Wow, oh my Jesus. Episode 60. But so without further ado, I'm gonna do something different on the podcast today. I'm gonna open up in prayer. For those that are normal to my stream, you guys know I normally open up in prayer, and it's just something that God has been put on my heart because last Wednesday, normally I pray for the kids every day on my stream, and I didn't do it Wednesday because we don't pray on the podcast, and all that stuff happened. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna open up in prayer. If you want to pray with me, stay with me. If not, be cute. Hit the mute until I change scenes. The same thing. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for the day, Lord. And Lord, I just thank you for everything that you're doing, Father God. I thank you for the doors that you have opened. I thank you for the doors that you've closed, Father God. And Lord, we just ask you right now, Father God, that those that are going to and from work, Lord, that you keep them safe, Lord. And Father God, we just ask those the kids that are in school right now, Lord, that you keep them safe, Father God. And if anybody is going through any stresses, any pains, any struggles, Father God, Lord, we ask that you plant a seed in a life or someone in a life for them to go to run to speak to. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Um, yeah, so without further ado, guys, how you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's
Um,
that's good.
as OG, you don't know, I was telling Handy earlier.
Mm-hmm.
IRL, I got a promotion at work. Well, more of a
Nice.
raise than a promotion thing. But
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. So
Well,
I'm doing.
congrats, man.
Thank you very,
Definitely,
very much. You know.
definitely. I always like to see our fellow people excel in whatever they do. Um, that's freaking awesome. So that's pretty much your highlight of your week, or what's your major highlight there, Bezoid?
That is the highlight of my week.
Well, so it doesn't get better than
I don't think it
that.
gets better than that.
Definitely.
Also, I do got news. I finally got a set date that I will be, finally sitting down. I'll be able to constant stream, so I'll be start streaming fully.
Yes,
Cool.
yes, super excited. Yo, Kudo with that raid. Let's go.
The date will be March the 3rd. March the 3rd,
March
I'll be going
3rd.
full. I'll be able to have a schedule, and I'll be able to constant stream, and so I
Are,
think that'll be the date.
are we doing our Monster Hunter streams on Saturdays?
Yes,
Okay. Awesome. I'm down.
I'm looking forward to those.
Me too. It was actually really fun playing that with you. Last the last or Thursday actually. Last
I think it
Thursday.
was Thursday. Yeah,
Yeah, Thursday we streamed it, and then we had fun, and then we kind of end the stream um,
playing Fortnite. Yeah.
playing Fortnite, trying to get them wins, man. Trying to
Which
get them.
always elude us until
Yes,
I leave.
yes, because Crew Dog is a legend at Fortnite along with DB. Oh, my allergies. Yo, you guys brought in my allergies when you all landed the plane, man. Y'all need to take them allergies back. I must be allergic to somebody's nuts on the plane. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But man, that's freaking cool though. I'm definitely excited. I will definitely be there. What time? March 3rd.
um, I'll be shouting that out in about a week because I want to know if I'm start at 9 or 10, or it'll probably be one morning and then one late stream because it'll be two a day. So in the morning stream, it'll be, probably around, yeah, probably around 9 or 10, and then the evening stream will be after 7.
Nice,
But
nice.
the evening stream will be longer
Also, we're
than.
doing double streams.
Yeah, I'll be doing double.
Ooh, we going. Ooh, look at me, so I go prime time. He said, "Yo," he said, "I'm doing double." Yo, that's what's up, bro. Do it.
Yes, sir.
What up, Iceman? What's good? What's good, everybody?
Hey, Ice man, how you going, man?
Man, punk. Hey, I can't help it. Y'all brought something on the plane, man. Y'all brought something on the plane. Y'all need to take that back. Whatever y'all can stay, but whatever y'all brought on the plane to make me sneeze, gotta go. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what it is. My allergies suck right now. That's cool. That's really cool, man. Really excited to hear that. I've been.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, man, did he stream this Saturday? Cause I was like, I didn't hit him up or nothing, and I was like, I don't see him on. And I was like, is this thing doing what DB does? I don't know if y'all noticed, but sometimes when Just DB streams, like his stream does not show up on Android devices. Sometimes.
Wonder why that is.
I don't know. I sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. He's messaged them, and you know, I don't know the full like the full thing, but he's messaged them, and they told them, you know, this and this, and then all of a sudden it worked, and then it stopped working, and then now it's working, and it's just like it's weird. So I mean, if you guys I'm sorry, I got to do this. But if you guys really want to know if somebody's on, you got to go check in the Discord. Go check on my Discord, because that thing never fails. Even though it may not show up on the feed on Android devices, it will show up in my Discord. That's how I always double check to see if DB's on or if anybody else is on, because I don't know. I've never had that happen to anybody else but DB. But it's very interesting. I wonder if it's the server he. Thank y'all for the biddies. Thank you for the biddies. 20, 30, 40,
There goes those.
50. There's those biddy sounds. Biddies. Should be really loud now. Look it up, biddies. I turned up the desktop audio. Thank y'all for the biddies. So there should not be no. If anybody's quiet, it'll probably be me. But yeah, so that's just interesting. But OG, how was your week, man?
Kind of interesting. I've finally said goodbye to Heroes Charge officially.
Ooh.
I actually posted my goodbye video yesterday on YouTube. Just kind of thanking everybody who's been with me since the beginning, because anybody that has been watching my videos since the beginning knows that Heroes Charge was one of the very first videos I started making videos on a normal basis. It was between that, Seven Nights, and I think it was Hearthstone at the time. And the people of Heroes Charge are the ones that put me on the map. That's where I got a good chunk of my first group of subscribers. That's where I got my most views. Like, as a matter of fact, there's actually one video that has like the highest amount. It was like over 5,000 views. Came from one of my Heroes Charge videos, which I thought was pretty cool.
Views, people. 5,000.
Yeah, 5,000. Yeah, that surprised the crap out of me. Yeah, that's freaking nuts. So I basically thanked everyone, who had been following me for that particular game, and thanking them for watching and supporting me. I also thanked the guild that I was in, Devotion, because that was the guild that I was in pretty much the 4 years playing the game. And of course, I was a guild leader, and so I had to kind of let them know, hey, I'm pretty much done, and thank you for letting me have you, but I'm pretty much going out of the game, things like that. And I explained to everybody that this is a good game, and I'm not leaving because of any BS or anything. It was
nice.
just that.
No, I'm just kidding.
but sometimes when it comes to mobile games, especially for like specific types of games, it's easy to grow out of a game. The fact that I lasted for a good 3 or 4 years means something, and I was like, this is a really good game, and there's a reason I've been here for a long time. It's just I have new projects coming, and then I just don't have time for it right now. I'm not as hype about it. I don't want to keep making videos if I'm not passionate about it. So, but the community seems to be pretty cool with it and okay with it. I even have another guy who wants me to give him my account or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I might just. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I should sell it or something.
People
since
do that. Like, that's an actual thing. Like.
Oh, I know.
Oh
yeah.
Dang, I didn't know that was like an actual thing. But people.
Yeah, that's
people are telling me they're like, you can make. Because everybody's like, some people like no big people, but some people are like, you have a good way of like making accounts grow. You should make accounts grow and then sell them to people. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, that just seems weird. But I was like, like Twitter, Instagram, and all that, because I know how to hashtag and stuff. When I want to get like stuff going, I know how to do it. A lot of times I'm lazy though and don't do it. But just because it's like, I'm like, I don't know. It's a lot of work, but people are like, you could actually sell Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts to people, and I'm like, yeah, that's just not me. It just seems weird. But that's an
That
idea.
is kind of weird. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
It's weird, but I've seen it done. But apparently,
Now, with game accounts, I mean, that makes sense because, when you are like a really high level and you have lots of perks and stuff like that, I mean, what that kind of stuff takes a lot of time and sometimes a lot of money depending on the game.
right.
So instead of having to grind for like months, maybe even years, you can just have this like huge account, you know what I mean, and already be like up there.
The only thing that
So if
sucks about
anything,
that
I'll
is somebody
probably
has
tell
your name though, and like you can't change your name.
it.
Like,
Well,
You can actually change it.
oh, you
yeah,
can.
I think well, mobile, yeah, yeah, you can change it
Yeah,
on the mobile
yeah.
side.
For mobile games, you can always change like the username, and then you can detach it from your Google, if I'm not mistaken. Now, I'd have to look that up, but yeah, I mean, you can actually separate it to where it doesn't have your name on it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll probably tell them, hey, I'm going to just change the name, but you can go ahead and have the profile. Just put X amount of money on my PayPal or however they wish to set up the payment and kind of
Right.
go from there. In the event that I get someone that wants to spend whatever would be considered worth it, I haven't really decided how much that would be
I
because
was gonna say,
honestly, I
what's
haven't
your
spent a lot of
price
money.
tag? What is your price tag?
That's something I have to think about that because I'll be honest with you, Heroes Chart is one of those games that doesn't really cost a lot of money to play. It's one of the cheaper of the mobile game microtransaction type genres, and the main reason it's so cheap is because you can just spend $4.99 a month on having monthly perks, and you'll pretty much have everything you need. Like you don't
Four
actually
ninety
have to come
nine.
and build. $4.99 a month. Yeah, you get basically a 30-day VIP thing, or you can do it like in a 1 year span, or you can do it like in I think a 6 month span, and the prices are actually decent. You know what I mean? Like I actually paid for a year the last time I paid, and it wasn't even a whole lot of money to be honest. And I'd have to think about it for a long time, and I kept getting perks every day. Like that game is a game that knows how to do microtransactions. I'll put it to you that way. If you need a good model on how to do microtransactions fairly without upsetting a bunch of people, Heroes Charge is a good example of how to do it.
Yeah,
I mean,
EA,
they
go
have
EA, go
options where
take
you can
notes.
spend a lot.
EA,
Yeah,
go take
EA.
EA, go take notes, please.
Oh yeah,
Cause you just killed
but
Battlefront 2. I'm just saying, but
oh,
ew.
and you can pay for skins, which is typically what most people like to have for microtransactions is basically buying skins. But having little small perks that aren't breaking the game, that's really how you're supposed
I
to
don't
do it.
I
So
don't
just a lot
understand.
of
I don't
overboard.
understand the whole paying for skins thing. Like, I just don't. It's hard for me to like, okay, because that's the one thing I like about Overwatch is I can earn my skins and I can earn my currency to buy the skins. But actually,
Hmm.
like throwing my money at the screen for a skin, like I just I get tempted. Like I've been tempted on Fortnite a couple of times. I'm just like,
Hmm.
no, because something's gonna happen, and then another skin's gonna come out, and I'm gonna want that skin, and I'm gonna end up putting like $300 something into this game, and it's just gonna be in skins. And
Now, you don't necessarily have to buy the skins. Like, you can actually earn it. It just takes a lot longer. So the game does allow you to actually grind
mm,
for it. Like you're not forced to buy it. You just have the option to buy it if you don't want to take the time to do it.
Right.
yeah, that's see, Fortnite needs that. Fortnite needs to way to earn skins, I believe.
Unlike Destiny, yeah,
Oh.
I
Battle
don't know what they thought with that one.
Battle Pass Season 3. Yeah, see, I don't know. I'm thinking about throwing my money at the screen because I'm
I
getting a
gotta
little.
see what they bringing with the battle pass. If they
Oh,
bring something good,
did you
you
not see
know me.
Grandpa's tweet?
Oh no, I didn't see Grandpa Steve. He got
He got some
some
insights.
info.
He
He
got
got
some
some
insight.
insight. I
Yeah,
gotta check his
basically,
tweet.
like one of the effects that they're gonna be adding to like one of the skins or the Battle Pass 3 is like when you're dropping from the sky. Like when you're like dropping really fast. You know how normally how they leave streaks. Well, instead of
Yeah.
just leaving streaks, you're gonna like leave like flames.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. 64 items in Season Pass 2, 76 items in Season Pass 3. Yeah, smoke trails. That's what they're called, smoke trails. So like that intrigued me right there. I was like, I don't know why, but I was like, man, that's kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me not to throw my. I'm like on the fence with Fortnite throwing my money at the screen. Like right now, I'm just like, I'm more at the fence with Fortnite throwing my money at the screen of Fortnite than I was at Monster Hunter, and that's weird. And that's weird.
It's funny. I actually tried the PVE again after a long time of me not playing it, and I was like, "Dang, I forgot how fun it was." It actually is fun.
Yeah. The PVE wasn't that bad. I I just don't like PVE just because I'm not a loner player. Like I like to kill things that are normally humans, which sounds very wrong, but I mean I don't like killing AI. Okay, don't
Such an evil person you are.
see the
Such destruction.
senators are gonna like take that. See, video games do make people want to kill people.
You heard that too, huh?
Yeah,
You're that guy.
yeah, that guy, Mr. Kentucky. We'll get into
Yep.
that later, but
Yeah, we will.
yeah, definitely. That's crazy, but yeah, like I don't know, and and I've been really trying to get better at Fortnite. This week, in fact, that's probably one of my week highlights. Is that like I actually figured out a way for me to play Fortnite better. But unfortunately, what I'm able to do on the PlayStation, I am not able to do on the Xbox. Mainly because what I found out is it's not that it has to be an Elite controller. It's the fact that my controller is technically not a Microsoft brand controller. It's an Afterglow third party Xbox controller.
Oh.
Oh.
So I can't map it. Like
Mm.
the mapping is there, like the app is there, but it just doesn't take effect. So basically what I've learned to do on the PlayStation 4 is instead of using X to jump, I use the R3 to jump and the R1 to shoot instead of R2. And my shots have been more effective and I've been way more accurate and I've been playing like a lot better. Like I went from like I
Thank
would
you,
say,
DB.
huh?
DB put the link in for the Fortnite.
Thank you,
No,
DB.
thank you.
Oh, but
The on field reporter. He always
I
does.
know. See, I knew you would come back. I'm gonna say this to pick on DB just for a second. DB said, "I'm gonna stay away from the podcast for a couple of weeks due to issues," and I was like, "Oh, you'll be back," and he's back. So, thank you, DB. Much appreciated. Much love. Yeah. So so basically, like it improved my game tremendously. And the reason why I found out the reason why this is, was an issue with the controller was because I originally tried to do this on PUBG because I found a better control scheme for PUBG, but I can't do it because, again, I don't have an authentic Xbox controller. So I don't know. I may be throwing my money at the screen to get a better controller for Xbox, but if I do, I might throw my money at the screen and get an Elite controller. I don't know. Can't miss the four type.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it really does help.
Yeah, no. Like,
my-
yeah. It helped me like tremendously. 10-4, loud and clear. I was saying, good. I'm glad everybody can hear it. Can't miss the Fortnite talk, man. I mean, I really don't have much to say on Fortnite other than because I don't have patch notes. Except for what you just posted right there. But I mean, as far as I know, the patch was supposed to come out today, but it didn't come out until, from what I hear, it's not coming out until tomorrow. But other than that, I mean, that's been pretty much my week. I've been freaking pouring my hours and my life into PUBG. I've literally put 3 days into PUBG. And I've been playing a little bit of Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter's just been frustrating, not because of the game, but because of me. Like I wanna like go and just take on everything, and I gotta learn to be patient.
Ooh, there's a big old rhinoceros.
Yeah, I wanna go take it on because I'm bad. No, you suck. You suck. Go level up.
There's a super powered T-Rex. Let me go hit him.
Yeah, exactly. Nope.
What's the worst that could happen?
What's the worst that
Oh,
can happen?
just hit the reset button. But yeah, definitely, definitely, definitely.
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
you
also
got.
been playing a lot of Tales because I promised that Sunday was going to be my console day slash card game day because that's really like the one day a week where I'm not either working or out doing anything. So I've been actually playing my PS4 every Sunday. That's been
What?
kind of my thing now.
What?
On PlayStation now, of course, but testing out those games. So that's pretty much what I've been doing on the Sundays now. Is just kind of playing my PS4, and then I am still playing the card game too, just to try to get better at it, so I can potentially make good videos. That's gonna be my project in the future. So that's still a thing too. So I'm still doing quite a bit of gaming, and then I'm also going hard on Final Fantasy. Still a new, not the actual game, but the actual mobile game, the War one. I've been still playing that, believe it or not. And actually, I've been to the point right now where no one's really even messing with me anymore. Like, because people used to kind of try to get at me, but I guess they're realizing that I got some good stuff, and they're having a hard time getting to me. So people have been actually leaving me alone for the most part now. So like I'm actually able to build up a lot faster now, which is really really cool
But
too.
you're in a better guild now,
Yeah.
though, right?
Oh, a lot better guild. Like they actually help you out. They even help defend me. Like I remember a few weeks back, the guild that I just left went after me, and then apparently
Wow.
my guildmates they reinforced my base, so they weren't able to take my hero, and we actually defended pretty well to the point where they just gave up and just left me alone. Like they are pretty legit. Yeah, good squad, and there's not even a whole lot of people in it. They're just people who know how to play the game the way it should
Mhm.
be. So we can protect ourselves. It's a really legit guild. I love it a lot. And it's actually called Chocobo Party, which is the funny part.
Yeah, that's
um,
crazy. That's
All
crazy.
Final
yeah.
Fantasy people know what that is.
Oh yeah. So yeah, going hard on that. And Saturday I'm still role playing, doing Pathfinder. As a matter of fact, a friend of mine that used to be the owner of Genesis Games, or one of the owners, he actually just joined our game, and we're playing at his house because he actually has uh, a smart house, if you will, where he'll say, Siri, make the lights green or whatever, and then the lights will turn green, and he can add like all kinds of craziness to add to the scenery and stuff. It's a pretty legit setup where everything is verbal commands, and he can change like music or like lighting and everything. It's pretty solid. So we've been gaming at his place. So shout out to Billy, and I mean that's more or less been the week for me so far.
that's
Hey,
that.
hey,
That's cool.
Handy, watch. I'm about to get OG.
Hey, what
So
up?
OG, you said Sundays you is normally your console days, right?
Uh
It
oh.
is my
So
console day for half of
I'm
it. Yeah.
about to see if I can recruit you to the dark side of Twitch and
Oh
Ooh.
say,
Lord.
how about Sundays Yu-Gi-Oh battles?
Good
We can
old
Ooh.
stream
Sunday.
those.
Uh oh.
Uh-oh. We gonna have Yu-Gi-Oh! Church.
Is I mean, how much is the game, or is it free or whatever?
The last time I believe
It's
it
like
was
14 bucks.
19.99.
It's
Yeah, it was like
14.
14 or 19. It was very it wasn't didn't cost that much at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I might actually drop in here and there. I'm not 100% sure when I'll start doing it yet because I've been really really sucked into Tails right now. But
Hmm.
I think eventually I would like to do a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh since I haven't really been playing in such a long time. It'd be nice to play with someone I
It
know,
it it, look it looks
Yeah.
like it looks like the Game Boy Advance version. Like remember
which
the
is the
one?
legit version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. I almost threw my money at the screen, but I wasn't sure if Bezoid was gonna be playing it.
Oh,
Uh,
I'll play. Oh, definitely, I'll play it. I
oh,
just
okay.
wanted some people to play against.
Okay. Well
I
then
got
I'll
a
be throwing
bunch
them
of
up.
decks built and everything. Like I'm ready to go.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right.
I'll have to show you what I'm about because I'm all about direct damage, son.
Ah,
Direct damage. I'm all about direct
Yep.
damage. And
He is.
sorry guys, we went nerd on you. I know a
we
lot of
went
you
nerd right there.
probably like, what the flip is direct damage and Yu-Gi-Oh and all that junk. You guys will see. One day we'll stream it. I'm sure Bezoy will stream it.
Oh yeah, I'll stream it
Yeah,
definitely.
see, definitely that's cool. So which one of y'all want to go first? Cause I got big stories and I kind of want to leave those towards the end, so I'm gonna let you guys do what it do.
I actually think yours. You should go second, Andy. I think OG should go first because yours gonna take up a lot of time.
It
Andy.
is gonna take up a lot of
Yours
time.
gonna take up a lot of time.
Woo!
So, OG, I'll let you go first.
All right, I can do that. I actually been doing some mobile gaming type lookups lately, trying to find something interesting to talk about, and there's a couple of things that kind of piqued my interest. I also put it on the Discord, so if you want to see the article, it's there.
I did.
Um,
I actually read it.
okay, cool. There's two things, man, but I'll just start with just one for now. Basically, for those who want to actually be able to make your own game, especially if you're in the mobile gaming industry, there are a few things. Now, they on the article that I read, they said 5 ways mobile gaming can avoid a sophomore slump. Basically, meaning the second year of your game determines if your game will more or less survive or not. Will you actually be making money? Will people still be playing your game? So this article more or less explained, a couple of tricks to keep your accounts live. Now I'm not going to go over all 5 of them because I actually don't necessarily agree with all of them.
I didn't understand
But
all of them, kind of. So
yeah, there was one or two that I was like, that makes no sense. So I'm
yeah,
not going to go over it. I'm not going to confuse everybody. I'm just going to tell you more or less what I see from the article, what I think are best ways. If you're someone that wants to
yo,
create a game,
TB, thank you for that host. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. But yeah, if you're a game creator and you want to like I said, like if you're an indie developer, right, and you want to make a mobile game, if you're an indie developer, honestly, you need to really like get into mobile gaming because that's going to be where the big money maker is these days. But the second year, one thing you need to do is focus on what works. So what that means is kind of monitor your game. If nothing else, even play the game too. Like, don't tell everybody you're a creator or anything like that, but just play the game itself. Have your own profile, and then just kind of watch the chat. Watch what people are saying about the game. What they like, what they don't like, things like that. And if there are certain things that are really catching people's attention, keep that in your game. Or if nothing else, make it even better. Make a better version of that tool that's working. Actually constantly monitor the game, and listen to people's feedbacks and things like that. Because those people who are going to be bragging about good things about the game are going to be the ones that are going to stick around the longest.
I almost feel like console people should be taking on these tips. I'm just saying. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, honestly, console can do this too. You're right. Especially any type of console game that requires constant online play could possibly benefit from this. So yeah, you're not
PUBG,
wrong.
Call of Duty.
But yeah, because a lot of times what happens is most developers, instead of focusing on making their game better, they just make as many games as they can, hoping that one of them hits. But if you could just focus on that one game and just make it better instead of spending all this extra money making tons of other games that may not work, this could be better for you financially and just good for you in the long run. So that's pretty much the first tip. Just know it works, listen to your audience. Also, there's the one that says creating compelling barriers to exit. So basically, what that means is finding ways to keep people from leaving the game. For example, um, one of them is money. Now, that sounds weird, but when I say money, and this is probably going to apply more to mobile gaming than consoles. I don't think console does a whole lot when it comes to microtransactions, even though it's getting there. Um, Come up with kind of what I said about Heroes Charge earlier. Come up with a way to find good benefits that don't break the game for cheap. $4.99 a month to have a bunch of perks is honestly one of the perfect, better structures you can do. So one, it commits them to spend a little bit of money, and then when people spend a little bit of money and it adds up, it actually kind of deters them from wanting to leave because they feel like they've invested so much into the game that they don't want to leave. So you're keeping them in a way from leaving by giving them these perks and showing them that hey, you can spend a little bit of money and it'll be fair and you can go far. So that's kind of an example of a way to kind of keep people from leaving. Also, add extra game modes, some PvP type stuff, PvE type stuff. If you add new content to your games, it'll keep people from leaving, or at least leaving sooner. Because one of the reasons that I kept playing Heroes Charge for as long as I did is because they kept creating new content that actually piqued my interest. So I stayed playing longer and it kept me more into it.
Right.
So, add new game modes or enhance certain game modes or whatever, just keep making changes, every, we'll say like 6 months or so, like add a new game mode or do something that's like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Because if your game is evolving, that'll keep people interested and keep them from wanting to leave your game.
Right.
And then that actually bleeds into the third topic too, which is constantly deliver new content. Delivering new content basically keeps people interested and keeps people playing. So that was kind of a twofer right there.
But here, I gotta throw this in. Deliver content that doesn't break the game. Just saying. So many people deliver so many times people deliver content, and when they deliver it, it like breaks the game, and then the next update is fixing the game because the new content broke the game. Also, I gotta do this funny pun. If you guys are consoles and you want something to invest in for $4.99 with perks, you could do that with your favorite Twitch streamer for $4.99. Subscribe and get perks.
Oh, speaking of $4.99, I like it.
Oh Jesus! I had to do it. But definitely, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's really good if you want to make your own game. These are kind of ways to sort of find ways to keep your audience. Now, of course, you got to learn how to do it, and there's probably other things you could do too. There's one on here. I'm gonna bring it up only because it kind of makes sense, and I'm gonna say kinda. There's one that it says acquire better users. Now that one sounds kind of weird. It's like, what do you mean by finding better users? So better users are basically people who actually play the game, know how to play the game, and they're the ones that are going to be continuing to play the game.
So basically, those that don't suck at the game.
Not necessarily suck at the game, but people who don't spam, more or less. Cater to those that aren't spamming the game. People only cater to those who are actually being helpful to the game.
What do you mean by spamming the game? What do you mean by spamming?
So there are people who will come in and they'll advertise, hey, go to this website to buy all these gems so you don't have to do stuff for this game. This is a big problem that they had in Blood Brothers, so that's the only reason I'm bringing this up, because this does make sense.
I also saw it in Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links,
yeah,
and I've also
Yu-Gi-Oh!
seen
Duel Links, they have that same problem, yeah.
And I've also seen it in Final Fantasy New Empire too. I've seen it.
Okay, I didn't see it. I don't see it much on my server, but it probably happens on other servers. You're probably right. Well, people sell accounts a lot, but I don't think
I was gonna say, if you ever get prompted to do that and you want to do that, don't do that, because 9 times out of 10, they're stealing your information or stealing whatever, and you just don't want to do it. I mean, sometimes it works, but 90% of the time, it's somebody trying to steal your account or your account information to get your money. So don't do it.
So here's an example on how to prevent spammers. Okay, Heroes Charge is a really, really good example of how they do this, and this is something that other games should have learned from, especially in the mobile genre. So most people will spam via the world chat where everybody can see it. They'll always, constantly keep posting and posting and posting, like off and on all day long, or they may have a bot that keeps posting, whatever the case may be. Well, Heroes Charge has this thing where you're only allowed to have 5 free messages per day. If you're going to be posting on World Chat more than 5 times, you have to use resources.
Wild City does that. That game that I was playing for a while.
Yep.
Wild City does
There you go.
Yeah, Wild City.
That's a good way to prevent people from constantly spamming. So if you're forcing them to use resources, one, you're forcing them to play the game, and two, if it's a bot, it's going to stop because it's not going to be able to continue to spam. So that's an example of how to cater to better players, meaning that people who are not constantly spamming, prevent the spammers and other people who are just, ruining the game from really excelling and, constantly trashing the game more or less by constantly advertising BS. So that's kind of what I got out of that, and I've seen this kind of stuff before, so that kind of makes sense.
Right.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of my. No, there's another one on here, but I'm not going to read it because it makes no sense to me. So I'm just going to ignore the last one.
But if you guys want to
But
read it, go check it out in the Discord for sure.
yeah, it's all on the Discord, and if you have opinions about it, I mean, definitely feel free to chime
Comment.
in if you want to
Right.
expound on it. But I thought that that was interesting because I mean, who knows? Maybe one day I might try to make my own game, and this is a good start to figure it out. Where to
not
go.
not to water down mobile games, because I mean some mobile games are awesome, but it seems like it's easier to make an indie mobile game than it is in console indie game.
I
See,
agree. And that's why I'm thinking that this is specifically for indie developers. If they really want to, put their foot in the door, I really think that starting out making a mobile game might be smarter and cheaper.
right?
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And it's a really good money maker as long as they can stick to a good business model. I think that an indie company can go far, and they can go from being mobile to being a big console developer,
Right,
making it
definitely.
easier.
Yeah, you got to
So
start somewhere. You got to build your audience. Like, uh, people, and this is kind of like the same thing, but not really. People will always, because my dream one day is to be a team owner somewhere, somehow. To own a team and to own a positive organization. And some people are like, "Why haven't you started?" And I'm like, "Because I'm building my brand first. You people got to know who Handy Killcam is and the kind of person that I am before they're gonna just go and just be like, oh yeah, let's go join the Handy Killcam. That's not the name. I don't really want to say the name too much because you just don't want the idea to be taken to a whole nother level. But you
You
don't.
never know who's listening.
Right, exactly. You never know who's listening, and I learned that from a video that I'm going to be talking about.
I knew you was gonna pick that
Yeah, yeah,
up.
yeah.
I knew he was gonna pick that up.
But but definitely, like, so it's like, you gotta make yourself known and who you are and what you do and what you stand for. And if you don't grow that first, then then how you gonna dabble in and really have a good foot in where you want to be. And it's the same thing. You gotta grow somewhere first. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, but that is such a good one.
It,
Hipfire Studios. That is good.
for real.
Hipfire Studio. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop you there, but
You're
that just
good. You're
tickled
good.
me there.
You're good. You're good. You're good. So, yeah, that's really cool, man. So I might as well just go ahead and jump into my big topic. And it rhymes with topic. It starts with optic. There's some issues going on with optic on the management side and like the head side. And here, I'm not gonna sit here and I'm not gonna debate on who's right and who's wrong. Um, I feel bad for Hitch, but from a business standpoint, I understand Hex. At the same time, was it kind of messed up? Yeah, but so that's not why I'm here to debate about that. My thing is this. I personally, I don't think it should have left social media. I don't think it should have been in social media's eyes to begin with. For,
Agreed.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, I agree. I was
Uh,
agreeing with
but for those that don't know what happened, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't know what happened. Basically, Hitch is the Game Awards last year won Videographer of the Year, right? For all the stuff that he's done with Optic, right? So basically, Optic decided to make him the head practically over all the content over Optic over in the Optic Nation channel. So all the series that was being released under Optic was being managed by Hex. I mean not Hex, but by Hitch. And well, Hex wanted a 7-day what's the word I'm looking for? Content.
schedule.
7-day
Yeah,
content schedule where there's a video every day. Basically, when it came down to it, Hitch was like, look, if I'm gonna do this, it can't just be me and one other guy. It's got to be me and like a team. And ironically, one of the people that he wanted on the team was Amanda the Jedi, another person I follow, and I don't know quite well, but we talk. Um, and he was like, I need this, and need this, and need this. You know, there was things on the list because they also do a podcast, but you know, their podcast is very mobile, and Hitch was like, look, for me to keep editing the podcast and all this, like, I need it to be stationary, so I'm not always having to tear up and tear down, tear up and tear down. I could just focus on editing the podcast. Well, long story short, and both of these videos are in the Discord. Long story short, Hex and Optic J both decide, because they're both, like, you know, owners. They both decided to say, you know what, Hitch, we're just gonna make you a content creator, and you can just create content, and you don't have to worry about deadlines and other things like that. The part that I felt that was kind of messed up was, as soon as they hired somebody else to do the content, it wasn't in-house. They went to hire somebody else. They went and got all the stuff that Hitch wanted on the list, and now they're using it. And now they're doing what Hitch wanted to do, but now Hitch is no longer the head person. Now, like I said, I'm not here to say who's right and who's wrong, because for one, I don't own a team. I don't know nothing about owning a team. I don't know nothing about meeting demands of sponsors, even though I am sponsored by Rogue Energy and a few other people. I don't have, they don't demand me to do anything. It's what I want to do. You know what I mean? If I want to sit here and put Rogue Energy all over the podcast, that's on me. If I want to, you know, not put Rogue Energy on the podcast, that's on me. I'm not tied to anything, so I can't sit there and say what was right and what was wrong. What I can say, what I feel that was wrong on both of their parts, but I understand why Hex had to respond back, was I felt like it shouldn't have been on YouTube to begin with. Because I know why Hitch wanted to do it, because he was hurt and he felt disrespected and everything like that. But you're hurting your team as a whole, because instead of like handling that behind closed doors and just taking care of the situation, now people, oh, I know my wife did. My wife watched both videos with me, and she was like, because my wife knows I want to be like a team owner and one day, and she says, I hope you're not taking tips. That's what she said. She said, I hope you're not writing notes. She said, please. Nice. She said, I know he's from Texas. I know he's born in El Paso, but please. Because my wife is very opinionated. And I said, and I told her this. I said, we don't know the obstacles that he faces. So every day. So I was like, that may have been the best in his decision. But anyway, so my thing was, you shouldn't have put it on social media due to the fact that it made Optic not look so green in my opinion. You know what I mean? It showed, which, I mean, every team has their weakness, but it just made it seem like, well, maybe I don't want to be a part of Optic. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Maybe there's something going down, and I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on it, Bzoid?
Well, my first thought was similar to that. My second thought was a question. Him making the video to go to social network, how does that help anything?
Yeah.
And I said to myself, it doesn't.
It really doesn't. It adds more to the problem.
Yeah, it adds more to the problem. It basically invites in people who have nothing to do with what's going on in Optic, something to say.
Right.
And I was saying, it really wasn't needed. He could just go to Hex and tell him how he felt. Because that's what he was basically doing, telling Hex and Jay how he felt. And I'm like, you could have just pulled them to the side, went to grab a coffee, and was like, this is how I'm feeling.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's been with them long enough and been so close with them long enough, apparently. Like, it should have just been over and done with. But, I mean, literally, this dude was on the point of breaking down in tears. There was points where I thought he was, like, literally going to cry. I mean, I understand he was upset, and a lot of people do stuff, bad stuff, and during emotions. But I feel like that more hurt not only him, but it hurt Optic.
Yeah.
Because me as an owner, as good as Hitch is as a creator, I'm gonna second think. Now I'm like, dang, that dude just threw, because that dude did not only just throw Hex under the bus, he threw everybody, like, an Optic under the bus. You know what I mean? Because there's one line that stood out to me. That, like, and it just made me think of everybody in Optic. And I understand he was emotional, and maybe he doesn't realize that he said this. But do you realize he said this in the video? He said this. He said, before we moved, and I'm paraphrasing. He said, before we moved, we were making better content. Before we had all this better stuff, we were making better content. Now we get the better stuff and get all the better stuff, and now all our content is shit. That's what he said. So I'm thinking, I'm like saying, so I'm like, bro, like, do you realize what you just said? Like, bro, I'm like, bro, like, what the flip, bro? And I'm just like, whoa. And I'm saying this to say this. And people are sitting there probably saying, well, why are you bringing this up? Because it goes back to the same thing that I preach all the time. You got to be careful what you do and say on social media. Period. Whether it be YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, whatever. Facebook, whatever. You got to be careful. Because those emotional outbursts can more hurt you than you think that is helping. And DB, I love you, but I gotta use us as an example for a second. That situation that happened last week, I could have went to social media about it because I was upset. He could have went to social media about it because he was upset, and we could have caused this big old thing. But behind closed doors, we handled it like gentlemen, and everything is good. See what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. And I'm sitting here thinking, me and DB, we're not team owners. We don't own a team. We're not these. But why do that? I just don't get it. But then the next thing kicked into me. What if it was just a thing to cause attention?
I thought about that too. Because the way it was explained by Hex afterwards, he was like, "Where you're aiming your anger in the wrong direction."
Right.
And it's not like things was taken for you. Asked for something, we did it, and now you're upset that we changed what you asked for.
Right.
And I was like, this should not have been out. I just kept saying it. This should have been in house. Should have kept in the locker room. And it's out there now, and it just makes it, the armor that they were wearing have a crack in it somewhere, showing that they're not invincible.
And I'm sorry, guys. If I wasn't reading the chat, I do apologize. I'm learning this new chat room thing, and I was in the wrong room this whole time. I was literally in the modded room, so I do apologize. I'm going back, and I'm like, why is nobody saying nothing? I mean, not that I defend on somebody to say nothing, but. Yeah, like, I'm just saying this, it's like, I just feel like, they, I don't know. I understand why Hex had to respond. I mean,
yeah, I understand that.
I mean, that makes sense, but I just don't understand why
it should have been
shouldn't even have been there in the first place.
Yeah.
And here's something that I want to give, that I know Optic's not gonna hear this, but I want to encourage Optic on this note, because I know they keep comparing themselves to FaZe and how FaZe has got themselves together, and when it comes to podcast production and YouTube production and all that good stuff and blah blah blah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You want to know why people watch Optic? Because you guys win championships. You want to know why people watch Optic? Because you connect with your audience. I can go into Optic Midnight's channel right now, whether I be a sub or not like a sub, and she treat me like a normal person. Facts.
Stick to what you're good at.
Right.
I just preached about this earlier. Good business models. Stick to what works.
So who cares if your podcast is not like freaking top production? Ours isn't. But
Nope.
but we do what we got, and we do amazing things.
Yep.
And so the whole reason why, like I said, to bring this up is the whole thing about social media, and that's why I'm saying we have to be accountable with what we do on social media.
I will say this: Hex got an ambitious plan.
Oh, he
to
does.
have that plan to have like a TV show slots.
Yeah.
For like 7 days a week, that is ambitious, and if you could pull that off, man.
But it's because that's the way YouTube's going to. YouTube's like trying to get rid of all the small creators that are just making small creations, and they just want them to just have like because if you watch YouTube, some of the ads are like TV shows.
Yep.
Yeah.
Some of the ads are like
regular commercials.
Like regular TV shows, and then they have the YouTube. You can actually get YouTube. You can actually get YouTube TV now, and so what the goal is the content creators that have been, the content creators that are like making these kinds of things. They automatically get recommended to you if you're watching the YouTube TV series. They're like, oh well, go watch this TV show, go watch this TV show. So it's very ambitious. Can it be done? Yes. Do growing pains happen with change? Yes. Does everything go as planned? Never. If it was going as planned for me, I would already been partnered. But I'm thankful that I'm not partnered right now, because there was things back then that I didn't know about Twitch that I know now, and that has helped me grow and be a better streamer. If I would have gotten partnered, when I still want to get partnered, but if I would have got partnered when I first started Twitch, I wouldn't be the better streamer that I am today. And what I mean is, you guys don't understand, when I first started streaming, I wasn't communicating with the chat. But knowing what you know, do you honestly ever put Hitch in charge of 7-day content? Wasn't a smart choice.
Agree, because as you were saying, he wasn't putting content out on time. They had to get on them about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's why I say I can't sit there and I can't sit there and knock Hitch's decision. I mean, Hex's decision, because you got to do what you got to do to make your business grow. And sometimes, regardless if a person is passionate about it, if they're not meeting the standards that you want for your business, you gotta let them go. And he didn't let him go. He's just like, look, we still want you, just make content. Do you go back to your first love, in the business, and that was creating content. I mean, what's up, Mega Seth? So I don't know. Hitch is what does it say? Hold on. I gotta read what DB just said. Hitch is entertaining. Should have moved to content creator and but you gotta, I guess, think about it, right? Like, your content creator, like your dude just got freaking videographer of the year. So in his mind, he's probably like, yo, he could do this. He's the man of the year. Like I said, we don't know what he was thinking, I just think it should have been avoided from social media to begin with. And I almost feel like maybe Hitch was a little intoxicated when he made the video. Who knows? But I mean, like for instance, I didn't go on YouTube talking about why I left Olympus, and go into detail on why I left Olympus, because I mean it's pointless. I mean, I left Olympus because I wanted to leave Olympus. You know,
I
and
say when you're thinking about doing something on social media, ask yourself, what does this help?
yeah,
If the answer to that is nothing, then don't do it.
right, exactly.
Keep
Yeah,
it simple.
right, because all you're
Simple.
doing is causing more issues for everybody else, and Optic's a big freaking team, so you just cause all them problems for them, not thinking about it. You're thinking you're helping because everybody wants to know where this is at, where that is at. At the end of the day, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's not gonna be like, I don't know. Like at the end of the day, people are not upset at me because I'm not freaking releasing freaking YouTube videos every weekend. As much as I want to. Um, I had a video this weekend, but DB will tell you our Fortnite win was pretty sleep news because it was just nobody was around and we ended up only having one battle at the end and we won. So I decided not to put that on YouTube just because it was just not that entertaining for me. And so, conspiracy theory. What's your conspiracy theory there, DB? DB's got a conspiracy theory.
But while he give us this conspiracy theory, OG, I know you don't really know all into the optic situation, but what do you think about from what you heard? What are your thoughts?
Well, from what I understand, and of course it's not a whole lot because obviously not too familiar with this subject, but I just know some lessons. Basically, one, watch what you put on social media. You never know who's watching, and watch what you're saying about the people that's employing you. You know
Very
what I mean?
true. Very true.
Very true.
Because that can backfire on you. So just gotta be careful, guys. But that's more or less what I got. I mean, a couple of life lessons.
He felt like he was being let go and made. I mean, but
that's a theory. That's a theory.
That's very true. But at the same time, I think he knew from
I'm
what.
sorry. I'll read for everybody else who couldn't, who won't be able to see that.
Right.
Just watching on YouTube.
Right.
DB put in, so if they took head of content away from Hitch, did he feel like he was being let go and made a video so he can remain in the public eye?
That could be very true.
Hmm.
But I feel like they made a point that he wasn't getting let go, though. But
yeah,
I mean, we don't know. We really don't know. And here's the thing, right? Here's the one thing. Another thing that bothered me about Hitch's post. If you're gonna be transparent, don't hide stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry. Like, I love you, Optic. I love you, Hitch. I love everybody from Optic. I got much mad respect for you. But if you're gonna go in, don't go halfway in, bro. Because
don't just give the tip.
There were still okay, because those things, like, it still didn't make sense to me. Like, a lot of it still didn't make sense to me when they actually come and say they were doing. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, from Hex's point, he made it clear that he was just, Vision was still his. His baby was still his. He was just going to be moved to content creator because it just seemed like he was overloaded. And from a content creator's perspective, for me, and I'm not even a good editor, and I don't even like editing. Like, my editing is probably like the most laziest editing in the world.
I mean, they would have to. They would have to say that because the people would notice.
Yeah.
The thing that Hex had, that he was in it, if he was to say some stuff that was untrue, it makes Hitch look like everything he was saying was correct. You know what I'm saying? So Hex had to be, forthcoming with what he said.
Very true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Like if he come out and say, "Well, we was planning on keeping hits, I mean, letting hits keep everything, that he wanted to keep, but just taking the load off him so he can have the time to do what he." If he was lying in any part of that, the fans would know because they know who's producing, and then or hits would come out later saying what's really going on, and hits comes out better looking than what he coming out right now because right now he's looking like not
Yeah.
so well.
I don't know. And then Diesel says, have the other Optic members been vocal about this on social media, or are they trying to handle it in
The way it's
quotes?
looking right now, the only one who came out really said anything was Hex.
Yeah.
I don't think Midnight or anybody said
Nope.
anything.
And I thought, because me and Midnight, we're cool. I mean, like, we're not like best friends, but I could go in there and say, hey. I've thought about going in there and asking her, but then it's just like, it's none of my business. You know what I mean? It's just
And
none of
she's
my
probably
business.
just gonna side,
Right. Yeah, I
she's
mean,
probably just gonna
dodge the question. Yeah,
dodge the
exactly.
question
You
anyway.
know.
So.
You know. I would.
We
I
can't
would.
we
I would
we
dodge the
can't be
question.
beat writers.
Yeah. I can. Yeah, exactly. I would dodge the question if it was me. But
Yeah.
I just wonder, because it's like, I just wonder if like Hitch and Hex are like best friends, and they just had a falling out. Kind of like I do with some of y'all sometimes. We're best friends, we're family, we're gonna have falling out. Sometimes we're not gonna agree to side eye to eye. Except maybe Hitch. The only difference between Hitch and that is that they're in business together. And that makes it rough sometimes. But I don't know. It blew my mind. I was just sitting back and it's just like, whoa. And the funny thing about it is too, is none of them are creating content right now, as far as like individuals, as far as like Hex, like 2 days after that, like Hex didn't like freaking upload. I haven't seen Hitch upload in a while, so it's just interesting to see what's gonna happen. But as of Optic Nation's content has been, I think they hired somebody to do it. So I never ask questions about things that like that. My opinion is about that. No, I understand. I just like, I don't know, like I don't know. It just it's just curious. It just curious me. It just has me curious sometimes. But definitely. But I mean, that's pretty much my big topic right there. I have some other stuff, but we will go ahead and let Bezoid take over.
Well, right now this week in major gaming news is really more minor stuff. There's not really any big news that came out besides things like the pumpy shots getting nerfed,
Oh
which I think
yes,
is awesome.
yes. Thank you,
Um,
Jesus.
Other than that, there's nothing like that. Well, also, Fortnite is coming to the Switch. Um,
Oh, interesting. I did not know that.
Mhm.
yeah,
I
Fortnite is
heard about that.
yeah. I wonder how it's gonna run on there. I wonder if there's gonna be any crossplay, which they should do, but I don't think they will. Um,
That would be interesting.
yeah, because we got PC crossplay with PlayStation, but we
PlayStation.
ain't got
But from what I've been hearing, they're trying to take that away. From what people have been trying to tell me. And I'm like, no, I don't see no physical evidence of that.
I need Sony to come out and say that. If Sony
Yeah,
comes out and say it, then I believe it
yeah.
because Sony is like, look, we're winning. We don't need to do this. Um, I don't think they're gonna do that because when Microsoft was winning, they didn't want to. So I don't know.
Sledgehammer founders leaving the company. Thoughts?
Yes, they're going over to I believe Activision, right? Treyarch, right?
Are they going over to
No, it's
Treyarch?
Activision. I think they're going to Activision. Yeah.
So
My
why?
thoughts on that, I need to know what's the next thoughts on what they're gonna do with World War II, in Sledgehammer. So
World War II is dead. World War II died in World War II.
It's so close to being. I won't say it's fully dead yet, but it's close to being there. It's
H1Z1's more alive than World War II right now, man. In my
I
opinion.
I can't call it dead yet because it still got DLC coming. And if they do any changes, then they can like grip everybody. They can. I'm not saying they will. They can bring everybody back if they do it right. Like it all depends on what they do, because the game will die if they don't do anything. Though I'll tell you that they better change some stuff. Because everybody's gonna start looking. Because November is coming up real quick, and we'll be all looking at 4.
Your thoughts on 4?
My thoughts on 4, because Black Ops was my favorite Call of Duty series of Call of Duty. I'm waiting. I'm like seasoning at the teeth for that. I just want to see what they're gonna
survival mode or no survival, or should I say battle royale mode or no battle royale mode?
I don't need a battle royale mode.
I don't either.
I don't need it.
I don't play Call of Duty to play battle royale. It's dead. It's like
mail being sent to a delivery to a person who passed away.
Yep.
I want to call it dead, but it's not. It's like on critical life support right now.
When you got Optic Midnight not playing Call of Duty and she's playing H1Z1, and she was playing Fortnite by herself earlier before she was playing H1Z1. God is dead. I'm just saying.
See, is that saying the game dead, or is that saying competition is getting better? Because a game could be good
What's
and
up,
just
Jack?
not being played.
Here's my thing, right? You know what keeps Overwatch alive?
The
Their
tournament
rankings,
scene.
huh?
The tournament scene.
Well, that too, and their competitive mode. Their competitive mode is better than the regular game. That's something that that's something that Call of Duty needs. The regular game is better than the competitive mode in Call of Duty, in my opinion. I don't know. There's nothing like Optic Midnight was saying last night. She said somebody was asking. She said, like, Call of Duty's got to do something drastic in this next Call of Duty. Like, it just can't. And I don't know what it is. There's nothing to like, oh my god, I can't wait to play Call of Duty. There's not that. Like, I could go and play Call of Duty for a couple hours and just be cool. But it's not like, oh my god, I can't wait to play Call of Duty. Like, right now, I can't wait to, like, after this podcast is over, I can't wait to get on PUBG and make my PUBG video. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm thinking about, besides doing the podcast. You see what I'm saying?
Last week, we asked the question to the chat, what does Call of Duty need to do to, bring them in? I think I found the answer. Stop making yearly games.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
Go every 2-3 years. That'll give people a chance to play the game, get tired of the game, and then crave the next one. Instead of, well, we know next November there's going to be another. So, 6 months later we got it. That's what I think is so watered down because it's like oversaturated. It's like we got another one, got another one, got another one. We don't have no time to miss, the in between time.
Games like that can't be like Madden, okay? The roster doesn't change in Call of Duty. I'm just saying. And even Madden, it gets kind of old, but for people that love Madden, people buy Madden every year. For people that love NBA 2K, people buy it every year.
Let's see, I used to be one of those, and then I smartened up on that.
Yeah.
I smartened up and realized what they were doing. They were breaking a piece of the game, fixing another piece, sell it, and then for the people to be like, oh, the quarterback sucked this year. They fix it the next year, and then they break something else. And it's never going to be a perfect game.
Right, exactly.
It's always going to mess up something, fixing something else. And I was like, you know what? Enough of you guys.
But isn't that the same way in Call of Duty? Isn't something broken right now that wasn't broken before in the last game?
Yeah, because they listed too many people. See, nobody's the Madden crowd was all in unison in saying this sucks or this sucks. They wasn't saying, quarterback sucks over here. No, quarterback's fine over here. It's the running back. No, it's the. They wasn't going ahead. The crowd was all in unison. Call of Duty had everybody trying to play, make the game for them. Now the unison part is what they should have been looking at.
Yeah.
They didn't do that.
DB says agree, but they have to put out a game that can last more
than
than 6 months. Well, I mean, Black Ops 3 is making a comeback. I'm just saying. Right now, people are still playing Black Ops 3, which is really nuts. But I don't know. But how do you? The question is, how do you make a game last that long? How do you make a game? How do you make?
One, listen to the fans to see, the unified.
Okay,
fans,
so what do you want? Okay, so if you were the fans and you symbolize everybody, what do you want what do you want as a Call of Duty person? Like,
I need to sit and really think about the unified front of that. I just can't think about what I will want, because what I will want, OG might not want.
Well, OG don't want Call of Duty in general, so freaking OG hates Call of Duty.
I am not qualified to answer that question. That's the best way to put it.
OG's never played a Call of Duty in his life. Never.
Not saying that I actually hate the game. I don't want to give you all the wrong idea. I'm just not that big into shooters anymore.
Let's put it like this. He comes over to my house. What's the thing we watching? Overwatch, not Call of Duty. Just saying. But go ahead, no, I'm just playing. But no, seriously. What DB says Black Ops 3 never left. Yeah, I mean, content and sense of accomplishment. But how? Okay, so here's the thing, right? The sense of accomplishment has now changed. The sense of accomplishment is way more different than the battle, because now the battle royale genre has come down. So how do you get that same sense of accomplishment now that you have a battle royale games out?
I would need to sit and list things. Like, I could sit here and ramble on things that I think they could do, but it eventually need to be written down and then put it all together. I know one thing they need to do: stop focusing on cosmetics all the time. It's that's their main focus, on cosmetics and making somebody go for loot boxes instead of what the crowd is asking for in the gameplay. See, that is one major thing I see they do all the time. We're going to bring out new cosmetics. We're going to bring out this. We're going to bring out this.
I don't care about cosmetics. I just don't. That's the one reason. I mean, they're cool for 2 months until something else comes out. Diesel Girl says that's the problem. They listen to the fans when they should just put out a game and let it be what it is. The fans are divided on what they want as it is. Have we supposed to vote on new games content like it is?
Let me answer that one for you.
All right.
Okay, what I mean as far as listening to the fans is not just taking every Joe Smo who gets shot by a sniper and says, "I hate snipers." No.
I hate quickscoping.
Or somebody who gets shot by a shotgun and say, "I hate shotguns." No, I'm not saying listen to this, that, and that, because like you said, you were going to get conflicting opinions. I'm saying listen to the unified front.
So who is the unified front?
The guys who's looking for the game to be better overall, not for themselves.
So not YouTubers.
Not YouTubers. Not. I don't want to say Reddit, but Reddit has a good place. Reddit has a good place to start looking.
All right. Agreed.
is when a person is saying, "This is what I feel would enhance the game, not enhance my stats in the game." That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people to make the game as a community better,
Mm.
not to say I can get 10 kills in a row now because shotguns suck now because they nerfed it for me. No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying go for those guys. Those guys you can ignore, let they go in one out the other.
In my personal opinion, in my personal opinion, I think it's time to move on. Meaning, I think Call of Duty should just be dead, and there should just be a new IP.
And lose money. They are not gonna do that. That's too much
Man,
money.
Activision could come up with something else.
That's literally like saying, "This is the money I get every year. I'm gonna throw that away."
Well, they could do what they do best.
Yeah, it's not good business practice.
That is not good.
Make Call of Duty free to play, and just come out with new season passes and stuff for maps and stuff. Just they can just focus on content.
People are already mad about maps now. They get mad at
But
the
I'm just
size of
saying.
different
I'm
maps.
just saying. What I mean, at the end of the day, make it free to play. Because my thing is, right? There's a different Call of Duty in Japan than there is here. So, like,
Listen what DB said. It's like saying, "I'm tired of my Lamborghini. I'm just gonna set it on fire."
Yeah, there you go.
hey, you'd be surprised. Some people do that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, to get as much money they're getting, they're not gonna let that go. That is whoa. That would be a meltdown
Yeah.
for company wise
I don't know.
to give up easy money because so many people are like a cult to the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not nearly as dead as you make it sound because it is very popular. There's still lots of people still playing it. And it's making them money, so I don't really see the need for it to just straight up die. Just they just need to continue doing what they're doing, and then eventually come up with something on the side.
They're gonna have to do something amazing for me to buy it this year. I'm just saying. For me to
Yeah,
buy it, they gotta do
they're gonna
something
have to
amazing.
they're really gonna have to do something outstanding. But I say the key thing is make it so you're getting a Call of Duty every 2 to 3 years instead of every year.
Yeah,
If you can, and I'm not saying this last one should go 2 3 years. I'm saying they should make a game that is good enough to at least go 2 3 years. So.
That girl said, "Yeah, people with more money than sense." That's true. That's true. That's true, man. That's true. That's crazy. Well, okay, so the next topic I'm gonna bring up is the whole Kentucky thing. If people don't know, there was a politician in Kentucky that is blaming the Florida shooting on video games, and is trying to make it to where video games get more strict because apparently it was video games' fault. And I quote, he said, it's the video games that make you want to shoot somebody, and in the video games they're begging for mercy, and as they're begging for mercy and you shoot them, you get more points. And I'm thinking to myself, what game is
He
that?
has never played a video game in his life.
I was like, what game is that? Because I've never heard
Yeah,
of
I've
that.
never heard of that.
I never heard of that game in my life.
I face palm every time a politician speaks on gaming because they have no idea what they're talking about.
No.
Not a clue.
They literally listen to somebody else, or they just make assumptions out of nowhere. Because this isn't the first time any sort of politician. Actually, it's been going on since we were young gamers.
Oh yeah.
A politician would come out and say gaming is the reason why some type of bad things are happening. But
Oh,
say
hold
the
on.
same
Someone's at
thing
my
of-
door. Hold on, real quick. Hold on
They
one
say-
second. Go ahead. You guys can keep talking.
they say the same thing about music, and they say the same thing about movies. Oh wait, they stopped for a while. They just keep going after gaming because Hollywood. But
It's an easy scapegoat.
it's an easy scapegoat. But it has been proven. It is a proved fact. It's been proven that games does nothing of the sort. They influence no activity as far as any sort of violence in the outside world. If
Right.
somebody's doing violence in the outside world, it's because they were going to do it no matter what. It was their choice. It had nothing to do with a video game. And
Right.
like I said, these were proven by doctors. This wasn't just you know somebody just saying, "Oh, it has nothing to do with it." It was proven, and it makes no sense because he's not gonna get anything changed in the gaming world. We did what we
No.
needed to do. We put ratings on games. That's all we need to do. Everything else is on society itself to
Yep.
teach um to teach this is wrong. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I will sit here and get heated because this discussion has been done over and over and over. Because OG
And it's going to
game.
continue to happen.
Yeah,
Like
it's
it's
gonna
not
continue.
going away anytime soon. And probably the next time there's a shooting or whatever ends up happening, someone's going to try to throw video games under the bus. That's just how it is, and we're just going to keep defending ourselves and keep proving them wrong. I mean, that's what it boils down to. I mean, I just laugh at it nowadays. Like I think one of the things he said that almost made me die laughing was when he compared it to pornography. I don't know if you read that part of it,
Yeah,
but he
yeah,
was
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
how.
I read that part.
Oh, you read that part too?
Yes.
Yeah, to the point to where like video games. I'm trying to remember exactly how he tied it in, but he made it just seem like video games are. Oh God, how did he say it? I wish I remember the quote. But basically, I mean, the point of the matter is he was making it as bad as pornography, as far as like how it influenced. Oh, I remember now. So, like with pornography, I guess. Oh, he's trying to make the point that video games desensitize people, which is what the same thing happens to people who watch pornography. They get desensitized to women or whatever.
Right, and then
So he
they.
made that direct correlation, making it just seem like it's the same thing. I laughed when I heard that. I was like, "Oh wow!"
I thought it
Yeah,
was I thought it was more the news than video gaming, but okay.
yeah. I think it's
Mhm.
more media and social media
You look at the
than
news every day, you're seeing somebody getting you know their life taken on some ridiculousness. But
right.
we're gonna
Mhm.
play video games because that's what it is.
No, why take responsibility when you can blame video
Why
games?
take yeah right? Why not look at the person and see if he was just a bad person? No, it's got to be video games. It
Yep,
really has to be.
gotta be.
And it, and this is gonna be rough to say, but all these things happen is because of the way the media does and the way the media covers the situation. Um, you know, and what I mean by that is like the media, the news makes this big old deal. Not saying that it's not a big old deal because it is a big old deal, but like the way they cover the stuff, sometimes people do these bad things, these real bad things for attention, or they, to send a message, like the 3 days after the shooting, I want to say we had a shooting here in the northwest side of San Antonio where it was at a Texas Roadhouse, and a guy just walked up and just shot a woman and her 6-year-old daughter, you know, and it's crazy, and it's like he did that because of probably some emotional status that he was at, status he was at, and it's just I don't know, it's unfortunate, and it's the way the media does things that makes it seem like it's almost like they get like how's the word that I'm looking for? Like they almost get like I can't think of the word, but they almost get like not showmanship or whatever. I can't think of the word, but it's like they get so much exposure, and it's like that's not cool, you know?
Yeah, it pushes their agenda on being relevant into the scene, and they're using uh, a bad thing like what happened with the shooting to push their own, to push
Agenda.
push their own agenda, and this don't make any sense because they know if they never said anything about video games, they wouldn't be put on the camera.
Right.
Oh, he said something about video games. Let's put him on there.
Right. Exactly. You know, and my thing is one day we're gonna get like a messed up politician or somebody messed up higher in government, and they're gonna just agree, and then something crazy is gonna happen for a while. You know, and if it really was video games, and this person was playing video games, like, I mean, there should have been. I mean, you know, it wasn't a kid doing it. You know, this person was a grown adult. So I mean, it makes no argument. Do I believe that video games did this? No, by no means. By any means, video games deliver stress. Releases stress. And you want to say, well, there's people raging on Twitch all the time. You want to know why people rage on Twitch all the time? It's not because they're really angry. The reason why people rage on Twitch all the time is because people like to watch it.
Yep.
Guarantee you, 90% of the rage you see on Twitch is fake.
I guarantee you, if Handy tomorrow does a stream where he mostly rages and then puts it on YouTube, that next day, he almost double his viewers.
Dude, I used to have people come in here. I don't remember who they were, but I don't know if they come in here now. But I just remember the comments in the chat. Oh, when we gonna see the Handy rage? We want to see Handy rage, and I'm like, that's just not me. Like, now sometimes I do get upset, but it's not to the point to where like I'm gonna break my controller or throw my controller at the screen or do all this stuff. And that's the thing. You go to look at all the Twitch fail videos. That's all it is.
People how you raging. Think Markiplier blew up?
Huh?
I said, how do you think Markiplier blew up?
Yeah.
He raged over things like Mario.
I guess I'm the one person that can't stand when people rage. No, I mean, no, it bothers me too. It bothers me too. Like, I don't like it. Not only that, because 9 times out of 10, the people that, when I'm watching you guys, half the time I'm watching you guys with my daughter. So, like, sometimes, like, you know, when there's raging and stuff going on, I have to mute. No, I have to mute some things because I don't want my daughter to hear that. I don't want you know what I mean? Because I don't want my daughter to think raging is cool, you know? And, you know, but like I said, half the time, 90% of the time, raging on Twitch is fake. And it's just because a lot of people like to see it. I don't like it. I don't like raging. I don't think it's cool. If I rage to the point where if you raging to the point where you're breaking your stuff, you ain't got money to replace it. Yeah, somebody may come donate and give you the money to replace it, but you don't know. You don't know. So then what's gonna happen? Then you're not gonna have your stuff no more. Then you can't stream no more. That's bad business sense.
If you're raging to the point where you're breaking your event, I think you got into the wrong habit. Hobby. Yeah. I think you got into the wrong hobby because I don't think video games were meant for that.
No, I just don't.
Even though I do enjoy a good little race, I just don't think the breaking of equipment and throwing stuff is needed.
No, I just don't see that's.
I do laugh at Stoudemire racing though. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but you gotta admit, Stoudemire, I love you to death, but we all know Stoudemire goes over the top. You know what I mean? Because people. It's just how it is. How people entertain. I'm just keeping it honest.
Well, a good example of how this even started to begin with was in YouTube, actually, with the Angry Video Game Nerd. That's really what kind of put raging on the map to some degree. Because if anyone has ever heard of the Angry Video Gamer or whatever, he used to post videos years ago playing like old school games that are like difficult or whatever, or just annoying, and then you would see him get ticked off at it, and people loved it. So because of YouTube videos like that, people have used that as a way to put their own content on YouTube and Twitch, and hey, it still works apparently. So yeah, it's been around for a long time, and people are just capitalizing on it for views.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it just keeps going, and I mean that's why Angry Grandpa was so big when he was alive. It wasn't, and he even admit I don't like raging all the time. What do I got to do it? When he was alive, and now, you know, now that he's passed away, you know, there's those people are trying to do whatever it does to keep the Angry Grandpa thing alive, you know, because what he was angry.
Yeah, it was Angry Joe when he first started, just being angry. People like, wow.
Like there was literally me and my wife watched Twitch compilation videos like every night before we go to sleep. And there's this guy, I don't know the name, and even if I did, I wouldn't put him out there because it's just dumb. But he just literally just starts breaking stuff, freaking like throws a freaking pound of flour everywhere and just does all this stuff, and people just like watch it, and I'm like, what does this have to do with gaming? Like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? What does that? I mean, in retrospect, right? That is
Mhm.
bad as just as much as an e-girl just sitting there doing nothing and not playing video games. That to me is the same offense. If you're not sitting there and you're just sitting there destroying stuff, being crazy, acting a fool, like throwing food everywhere, and you're not gaming, that is the same. To me, that's the same offense as somebody does not says that they're gaming and they're not gaming and they're just sitting there and making themselves look pretty or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Twitch is, and from what I understand, Twitch is about gaming. Now, before we close, because I don't know if anybody else has got much to speak, but we do know that the Twitch passed their TOS as of the 19th. Has, and this is more a question for Bezoid and the people in the chat, because I know OG really doesn't watch Twitch much. Have you seen any differences at all?
Yeah.
Huh?
Haven't seen not one.
Not one, right? Me neither. I have not seen one. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all.
I didn't expect to see anything in it either.
Really? You didn't expect it? I did.
I didn't. I
you
didn't
did?
expect to see anything because
So what do
they
you?
didn't really. The only thing they changed was don't be a douchebag or you gone. Most people were being douchebags anyway, get kicked out the room they were in. Now you just your account.
So do you think it was just for they just did that for investment purposes?
No, I think Twitch did it for the right reason.
Okay.
It's just the uproar that it made from people. Twitch are banning people for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
That was not needed, and that was just blown out of proportion. And I literally was seeing people who had the title of their stream, Twitch is banning for no reason, and so people can come in and see what they're talking about. And I was like, wow, you are really doing that.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Oh, and this episode will be on SoundCloud. I'm gonna go make the official. I've already made the page. Pages already got like old episodes, old episodes up there, but I'm gonna make it official to where we'll have unlimited storage. It is gonna be a little bit pricey, but it's okay. It's in God's hands, and I just trust God with it, and God's got it, so it'll be all good. Wait, do you think that Twitch did this due to the recent gamer SWAT?
To the SWAT thing that happened.
No, I don't think so.
I wouldn't be surprised if that didn't help add to it. I don't think it was the sole reason alone that they did this. I just think I think the thing that affected it was Facebook affected it, and they're getting ahead of the game.
To be honest with you, you want to know what I think affected it?
What?
I think it was the whole what you call it? What was the guy that did the thing and all that stuff on YouTube? And
PewDiePie?
no, not PewDiePie, not PewDiePie.
Are you
The
talking about
Logan,
the whole forest
the
thing?
no, the Logan thing, Logan Paul.
Oh,
Logan
Paul
Paul,
Logan.
yeah, the forest thing, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think the whole Logan Paul thing pushed it over the edge. And then everything else, the whole tie dye thing, pushed it over the edge. Cause I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just people do it live. You know.
Yeah.
What was gonna stop somebody from eating a freaking tie dye live on stream? What was gonna stop it? You know what I mean? Or Tide Pod, whatever you call it. I don't flipping know. You know what I mean? So I think that like set it over the edge, honestly. Because I mean people get swatted all the time. And I'm not saying that this is like any different. I mean, yes, it was a bad incident and people were getting shot and killed, but I don't think it was the main reason.
Yeah, I don't think it was one reason. I think it was like a collection of things.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the Logan Paul thing and the Tide Pod thing set it over the edge. In all honesty, but yeah, does anybody else got anything they want to speak of?
Well, I just kind of want to make a quick comment before we leave the subject, because you were kind of talking about how people are on Twitch like doing stupid stuff that's not even related to gaming. This is possibly where all these politicians are getting their information from. They're probably watching the wrong Twitch videos and making negative posts based off of that. That actually makes perfect sense now, where they're getting their info from.
Very true.
So I just thought that was just kind of interesting. But go on, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, you didn't. You didn't interrupt at all.
That's very true, actually.
I didn't think about it till you just said that. That's probably true.
It's so sad. It's so sad. Like I feel like this. If you're not doing anything related to gaming, you should not be streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, get off of Twitch.
That's just my opinion.
I agree.
If you want to do stupid stuff, go to YouTube.
As a guy who came to Twitch for gaming, I agree with you. But they messed up when they put that IRL thing in there.
Yeah, I know. They should get rid of IRL. Like you know what bothers you know what another thing.
But they making money from it. That's why they doing.
What grinds my gears? We're gonna have a grind my gears segment one day. What grinds my gears is like when people are gaming, and then they game under the IRL category because it could give them more chances of getting people. I see it all the time, and it just drives me nuts. I'm like, really? You're playing a game and you're in IRL. Why? Like, I'm saying this. Use it. Use it. Use IRL in a respectful manner. Like, I could understand if Twitch was just a streaming platform, just in general. But Twitch was not meant just to stream anything. Twitch was not meant to be Facebook Live. Okay?
What happened was they saw that money.
I know, but it's just
that money was like
it's just so bad. It's just so bad because you just see, like for instance, there just might be a girl just on Twitch right now painting her nails. Or a dude, sitting there eating a bowl of cereal.
Oh, there are.
Oh,
and
I know.
That's weird to go watch somebody eat. I don't understand.
I can't do that either. Like I
can't do that.
And I even felt bad when I had to eat like during my 24-hour stream, and I was like, crap. Like that sucks. Like I hate watching people eat on stream, and I hate being the guy that has to eat on stream. Like. I will literally wait until the end of my stream. I won't eat nothing. I'll drink all day long. But I won't eat nothing until my stream's over. Nothing. I don't know. It's just weird. You know what I mean? Like I won't eat
I have watched a person on Twitch paint. And I'll give her a little shout out. Sidecar Angel, she does good paintings. But she also plays video games, so she streams games, and then certain days she streams her painting.
Right.
It's not like every day she's painting.
And
She does,
if you're painting like like a video game character or drawing a video game character,
and that's what she
versus
does, all video games.
Oh, then that's fine. That's gaming related.
Yeah.
yeah, unrelated. But I love to see students in Miami. What?
Unrelated, but I love to see this. It was like a header there.
Oh,
Students in Miami-Dade and Broward countries are walking out of school protest for gun reform. These kids are incredible.
that's crazy.
Mm.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's the power of protest, man.
That one shut us all down right there.
Yeah, like that's powerful. I mean, even if you don't agree with what they're doing, like just the fact that they're doing that, that's powerful. You know, I think that people should be able to do that. Any excuse, boobies, any excuse to get out of school.
Nice.
That's very true.
That's exactly why they did that.
I remember I would skip day just to do skip day. And then I'm gonna have to cut what? Cut. But yeah, I mean, what I mean by that, I don't know if I necessarily agree with
Social coffee drinking.
right social coffee drinking. Yeah, that's true. Boobies, I dropped my son off. One half. That's cool though. I think that's really cool that they're doing that. You know, whether you believe in it or not, you know, I'm at the point to where like guns don't kill people. People with that are not in their right state of mind kill people with guns. But you know, like even myself, I don't think I should own a gun. Why? Because of my balance and all this stuff, and it's just not a good thing. I could accidentally fall over, and something can happen, and I can actually shoot somebody. You know, so you know, but definitely, you know, that's really cool that they're doing that. Yeah, screw education. Well, I think the education's outdated, in my opinion. In my opinion, you got all these kids going to school and everything, but yet don't know how to do taxes and do all these things, or don't know how to survive in the real world. Just saying. I'm just saying.
They're just babysitters these days other than teachers.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Some schools, not all schools. Some
Yeah,
schools
no.
do actually teach you some real life skills. So I'm not bashing all schools in general.
Yeah, I'm not
but
saying drop out of school. I'm just saying you won't use algebra in everyday life. Just saying. Just saying. If you do, then you are a cool whiz kid. But without further ado, does anybody else got anything that they want to discuss?
Yeah.
No, this was kind of a slower week. I'm hoping we get better, we get more, potent news in the coming weeks. So.
I don't know
Well,
though.
I got one thing I can kind of bring up that I also posted an article about. And it's not nothing like newsworthy as far as like, oh, something crazy just happened. This is more of like the stats. Because I think we had talked about recently what some of the like the biggest mobile gaming companies were, and you were kind of curious about like what is out there and what's really like popping. There are three particular companies, well, really two that are major. One that's an up and comer, and it was an article that stated if you were the kind of person that wanted to get into stocks, and you wanted to use stocks for video games, there were certain gaming companies that you should consider. Now, this is strictly for mobile, but it could apply to console gaming companies as well. But the three top mobile gaming companies right now is one is Tencent Holdings.
Right.
For those who are not familiar with Tencent, they are behind League of Legends. They're the creators of League of Legends, and they're also the creators of Arena of Valor, which is the same thing as League of Legends, but it's on mobile. That's basically the difference because League of Legends is only on PC. It's not console. It's not mobile. So to cater to the mobile gaming crowd, they made a mobile version in China and Europe and in America. And the reason they say that Tencent is such a good company is because they're number one in China and they're really, really big here. Why not invest money in one of the biggest, mobile gaming companies out there? They have they're really big in the mobile arena, and it's an esports thing, and it makes tons of money. There's no reason not to do it. So if you know how to do stocks and you want to do something gaming related, Tencent is one of the top ones. The next best thing is Activision slash Blizzard because we all know they're pretty much the same thing.
Because Activision's a
Uh,
monopoly.
yes. So everybody knows what Blizzard is. World of Warcraft. What's that shooter game we just talked about earlier that you love?
Call of Duty.
Overwatch. Because isn't
Overwatch.
Overwatch owned by Blizzard? Yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, even though Blizzard does a lot of mobile gaming stuff, they also do a lot of high PC and console gaming stuff. That is probably the best company to invest in if you want to like actually get into stocks and stuff, but do it video gaming related. That's probably the number one thing you want to do because they have their hands in everything. And then they have one other one that I've never heard of before. It's something called Changyu.com. Um, it's an up and coming company, and I think the reason I brought it up is because it's one of those companies that apparently only has a few games out, but nothing super duper popular. But it's a new thing, meaning that if it does become popular, you can make a lot of money because it's under the radar. And typically, things that are under the radar that spike up can generate tons of money if they end up working out. So if you want to take a risk at an up and coming company, Chainyou.com is the one to use. But if you want a more for sure thing, for those who know how to do stocks and stuff, you either want to do Tencent or Blizzard. And I would personally recommend Blizzard.
I would say
because,
I would do Blizzard, not very much Activision, because we know they own Call of Duty.
yeah.
Blizzard, yes.
I know nothing about stocks myself, but if I did, I would 100% invest in Blizzard.
I've been thinking about it.
I'd like to do it, but I don't know because you have to actually know somebody that you can trust that won't just take your money and run.
Yeah.
And I don't know where to go for that. Like, and I don't want to just randomly lose hundreds, potentially thousands of dollars because I didn't know what I was doing.
My thing is, like, I've thought about putting like some extra, like, because of course most of the Twitch money goes into the stream.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking like the long term because like Twitch is not gonna last forever. You're not gonna have people like Crew Dog and all these people that come in and show love all the time. Everybody's not gonna last forever, right? So my thing is, how can I take the blessing and make the blessing grow for me further down the road? You know what I mean? How can I invest it? And I started thinking, I was like, man, what if I took some of the little seeds and planted them in stocks? But my thing is, like, I don't know. I'm in the same boat you are. I don't know how much is too much and how much is too little. And I kind of know where I want to go, like as far as like investing, but I don't know how much is too much and how much is too little, or what's the difference between a bond and a stock. And then you got all this stuff with Bitcoin, which I'm not even gonna trust Bitcoin. But
I'm not even gonna get into that. No.
Yeah.
Get into that.
Yeah, no, Bitcoin is gonna be going to poop. So yeah. So it's definitely. But it's definitely been something I've been thinking about. Now, unfortunately, I think because of my disability and being on disability, I can't own stock.
Yeah, I don't think you can do stock because then they would take away from your benefits.
Yeah, they would take away from the benefits.
So yeah, I don't think that'd be good for you. But that is something I seriously want to do. I just need to find the right person to kind of help me, guide me as far as what to invest, or not really what to invest in, but how to invest really. And the good thing about investing is it's not just something that could potentially make you money, but you're also supporting a company you care about, which is why I say if you're going to do something gaming related, it should be a company that you actually have respect for, that you like their content for. You're supporting them, and in the end, they'll also be supporting you too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I learned this tip they said whatever you put your stock in, let it be something that you buy or that you enjoy. That way, whenever you are, whatever you and putting your stock in, you're automatically like making money for yourself. You know, like say Band-Aid brand or something. So what you're saying is, I shouldn't
invest in EA.
Yes, no. Have you look? If somebody didn't know what was going on with EA right now, and they saw how low the stock was, they would probably invest in it because it's pretty low. But knowing from the video game standpoint, yeah, no, you don't want to invest in EA right now. Not right now.
Mm-mm.
I don't see.
I would not invest in EA at all. No.
I don't see anything coming good. Even though Microsoft is thinking about acquiring EA, or they have already.
Yeah.
No, because right now, as far as the Xbox division part of Microsoft, it's not doing so great either, money wise. So, now there's a lot of Xbox fanboys, and I'm not saying Xbox is bad. I'm just saying from a stock standpoint, from a money standpoint, Xbox is in the gray right now. So, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens.
Well, the thing about Microsoft in general is that I've always felt that they were more of a PC gaming company anyway, because it's Microsoft, it's a computer company. So I'm pretty sure that they don't necessarily care as much the Xbox not doing as well as it could be, because they still have the PC market.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I think, wait, that's a good question. Well, it wasn't a question, but you just brought up a question. I think Epic Games is in the stock. Boobies.
Epic Games is what?
Epic Games is an open stock. Because she was saying when the company that makes Fortnite is in the stocks, she wants to invest in that company. And I think Epic Games is in. I'm not sure, though. I'll look, and if I do, I'll give you the... Because I actually follow stocks a lot. Because like I said, I've been thinking about it for a long time. But like I said, I don't think there's really a reach around for me to get around that because of my disability. For those that don't know, like when you're under disability, like you can't own a lot of things. You can't own a home. You can't. There's a lot of things that you can't own. And if you do own a home, you basically, if you sell it, the money goes to the government, or they take out the money, or you lose your benefits. It's whatever they decide. So yeah. So when it comes to that, it's like a whole different thing. But with that, I think we can call it a podcast, episode 60. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Good place to stop.
Good place to stop. Go ahead. OG, go ahead and take us out, and I'm going to let you do it this time.
He remembered this time. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching the OG podcast. We do appreciate you guys watching us and listening to us, those live especially, and of course those that'll be watching later on or listening. We hope that this is educational and entertaining, the two most important E's here. So we'll also be, of course, doing Twitch and YouTube respectively. Watch out for Hand to Kill Cam. Tomorrow he will be at Able Gamers like usual every Thursday. I don't know if you heard the good news, but Bezoid launched his date, March the 3rd. So he's going to be debuting. Please show him some love. Please, please, please. We got to support each other. If not, who is? You know what I mean? So let's show him some love. And then, of course,
look at that politician. Look at that politician. 120. Go out. Oh, look, we're going out with the Biddy song. Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
I do want to say one thing. Next week, we'll be having our first guest.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Reminder. You just reminded me. Next week we'll be having our first affiliated guest. It'll be the affiliated spotlight, and that person is Crew Dog. Hopefully Crew Dog didn't forget, but the 28th.
I hope you bring that video he made to the
Yo, 100 biddies, let's go!
showed some
was.
good clips of him.
Yeah.
I saw it earlier. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, bring that video so we can showcase it on the stream. And we're gonna ask you a bunch of questions. We're gonna put you under the attentive hot lamp of what it's like to be a streamer. So you get your questions ready, and then we're gonna do this every fourth week of the month. Every last week of the month, we're gonna showcase an affiliated streamer to show them love. Me and the decision comes down to me, Bezoid, and OG who we want to showcase. And this week we've decided to, showcase, or this month we decided to showcase Crew Dog, because he goes and he's shown us all love. He's shown us all how to be a community. He's shown us all how to support one another. He's taught us a lot of things, and he's definitely done a lot for all of us. So I think it would be good to have him be the first. Definitely. I'm sorry, OG, go ahead. You can finish now.
No, you're totally solid. Again, just thank you guys for watching. I'll also be posting YouTube videos on the side as well, and he will still be on Twitch even outside of Able Gamers. He'll be doing more, videos over the weeks and through next week. We'll be back at 10 a.m. Central next Wednesday with a guest. You guys keep gaming.
All right, we're gonna go.
Y'all.
And we're gonna
See
go.
y'all later.
Thank y'all for the
Oh,
more biddies.
They want to hear the Biddy song.
They want to hear the biddy song.
And soon coming, the Shorter Money at the Screen.
Throw your money at the screen is coming soon.
My album.
Yeah, Grandpa, you were late. I'm sorry, bud. And for those that don't know, the reason why I was still asleep this morning when you guys wanted me to play Fortnite, it's Grandpa's fault. Grandpa kept me up late last night. Thank y'all for the biddies. We ain't leaving yet. Oh my Jesus. Oh my Jesus. Thank y'all for the biddies so much, man. Look at all the biddies. Thank you so much. I felt bad though. I felt bad. Grandpa called me last night and my ringer was off and I missed Grandpa's call. I felt so bad. He called me in midstream. I felt so bad. Oh, I had my ringer off though because everybody was asleep. Oh, my daughter was asleep. My wife was up. And I missed the call. And again, Grandpa, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Don't forget, Able Gamers tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, I'll be Able Gamers tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to play Monster Hunter or if I'm going to play Overwatch or if I'm going to play PUBG. I haven't decided yet. Those are the 3 games. I haven't decided which one I'm going to play.
But let me know if you play Overwatch or Monster Hunter. I'll be there.
Ooh, I may play Overwatch with you tomorrow. I haven't played Overwatch with you yet. So definitely. You're so bad. I know you are bad. You were drinking soda past midnight, Grandpa. Until Grandma. But we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna raise somebody, guys. Please show him love. Wait, I hope he's not going off. Oh, never mind. I think he just went off.
We were gonna raise somebody.
We were gonna rate a sub, but I think he just went off. Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, I think is he going off? I don't know. Oh my Jesus. Well, we'll just rate him and see what happens. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
See you guys.
See ya later.
Yep, he probably did. Knowing her.